Radyo, 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 Radyo Katipunan. Radyo Katipunan. Radyo Katipunan. Radyo, Radyo, Radyo Katipunan. Radyo Katipunan. The voice of the Blue Eagle, kami di mapipigil sa pagbabalitang tumpak at tama. Buhay Atenista sa loob sa labas ng eskwela, ating ibibida lahat ng eskwela. Radyo, Radyo, Katipunan. Radyo, Radyo, Radyo Katipunan. Radyo Katipunan. Radyo Katipunan. Kawal ni Ignacio, Katipunero sugod. Todo sa kayod, tulong at tulong. Lipad na Blue Eagle, galing hiting at tigil. Blue and white, one big fight. Radyo, Radyo, Radyo Katipunan. Radyo, Radyo, Radyo Katipunan. Radyo Katipunan. Radyo Katipunan. Radyo, Radyo Katipunan.
Radyo Katipunan. News, insights, inspiration. Radyo Katipunan. Down from the hill and down to the world. Radyo Katipunan. The voice of the Blue Eagle. Welcome to the Rundown, where we take you right into the action with the latest sports news, updates, game previews, breakdown, and analysis in, around, across, and beyond the Ateneo. And now, let's get ready to run down!
Blue Eagle Nation, a great day to all our Team Ateneo sports fans, our students, faculty, staff, employees, and alumni. At sa lahat po na nasa Katipunan area ngayon, tutok na po kayo sa amin dito lang sa Radyo Katipunan Sports, only on the voice of the Blue Eagle, Radyo Katipunan 87.9. Of course, bumabalik tayo sa the Ateneans' #1 sports program on air, The Rundown, only here at your official Ateneo Campus Radio. Again, you're hanging out with me, Anthony, and para sa lahat ng ating basketball fans ngayong araw na to, we are gonna be balling all day long. It's a hoop session here on Radyo Katipunan Sports, of course, with Ateneo's very own, so excuse me, KLOVE, no? Karlo, Lovenia, of course, basketball analyst and writer for Humble Bola and Slam. Karlo, so big thank you for joining us today.
No problem. Glad to be here.
Oh, and of course, welcome back home sa'yo, no?
Yes, definitely.
Fresh grad, and how are you enjoying your first ilang months na ba?
Close to 3 months already.
Close to 3 months.
Ever since I graduated. So it's been fun. It's been lots of learnings. But happy to be back. No place like home, like what this.
Definitely. And alam ko si Karlo, suki ito sa KLOVE courts natin. As with any, Atenista naman na, di ba, mahilig sa basketball. Ganun talaga yun. So, Karlo, starting today, over the next few weeks and months, we are going to be immersed in a crazy dose of hoops.
Definitely.
Sabihin na natin, mamaya lang, mga kababayan, it is going to be the opening day ng ating Gilas Pilipinas sa FIBA World Cup 2019. Tapos, Karlo, hindi lang yun. Sa paparating na UAAP Season 82, which is going to open, ito na, kinabukasan na, as we speak, no? Our two-time defending champions, of course, our Ateneo Blue Eagles, are looking to capture a third straight crown. More importantly, host pa tayo ngayong season na to, no? So, Karlo, Lovenia, KLOVE, are you ready for the insane amount of coverage that you are about to do?
Yeah, ramdam ko na siya as early as now. There's so much things overlapping that sometimes not just as a basketball writer really, or someone in the media, as a fan it can get overwhelming sometimes. That there's so much basketball ongoing. Buti na lang walang NBA. Wala pang NBA. I mean, so right now we have FIBA, we have UAAP,
yes.
There's NCAA for the hardcore basketball fans. So I mean, you have no other choice. You gotta be ready for it.
Pero hindi ba yun yung isn't that the hoop hoops writer's dream na parang, ang dami kong sinasabay na coverage, ganun.
I mean, masaya. It's definitely fun, but eventually, it takes a toll on you. As any job, really. But I mean, the country's in the World Cup again.
Yes.
I mean, the UAAP is always a fun time.
Yes.
So it's good stress in a sense. Kasi masaya Masaya yung pinapanood mo.
Tsaka passion naman di ba?
It's a passion, definitely, for most
totoo yun. Totoo yun. So, Karlo, unahin muna natin yung usapang bayan, as mentioned a while ago, no? So, hindi lang mga tenista, yung mga kapwa Pinoy natin dyan. Oras na para dun sa Chooks to go. Go Gilas, sige lang ng sige, team song. Yun na naman tayo, no? Karlo, it's been 5 long years, since the last World Cup stint ng ating Gilas Pilipinas, 2014. Safe to say, sabihin natin, it's been the Gilas Pilipinas has been witness to lots of highs.
Yep.
And we crashed down to the lowest of lows. Coaching changes, basketball, diba? Karlo, can you talk about how just qualifying for this edition ng World Cup? No, it's a huge accomplishment na in itself.
Yeah, I actually talked to Gabe Norwood before they left, and he touched on that. I asked him, 2013, it was such a high, definitely, probably one of the greatest moments in Philippine basketball, safe to say.
Yeah.
And being in the World Cup alone, having all of those moments, it was huge for the program. But Gabe reiterated, you can't just stop there. You have to be able to keep it growing. You can't just be satisfied with making it to the World Cup once. So. Kumbaga, parang sinasabi niya na standard na yun, yung to make it to the World Cup. And it's easy to say, look at it in a vacuum. 2014 was the last World Cup, 2019 right now. So parang isipin mo, okay, we didn't really take a step back. We were able to accomplish the same that we accomplished before. And that should be given credit. Not all of the teams make it to the World Cup. But at the same time, naramdaman ko sa pagsalita ni Gabe na he mentioned after the Kazakhstan game last February when they qualified for the World Cup, there was joy, definitely. We saw it with how the team was jumping up and down. Sure. But at the same time, they couldn't help na may relief na they could finally breathe easy.
Yes.
Because the team went through a lot, from 2015, where we nearly made it to the Olympics when you actually talk about it.
Yes.
Having Coach Stab Baldwin at the helm, then the disappointment that happened the year after in the qualifying tournament, then going back to Coach Chot, then it was actually a promising run after 2017 to 2018. Then all of a sudden, as he mentioned, the basketball. Gabe doesn't want to talk about it, but he can't help but touch on it because it's something that made a mark on Philippine basketball. But despite all of that, it was really up and down, roller coaster as per usual with Philippine basketball. Buti na lang the country made it back to the World Cup, and I think right now. It's good to look at it as an accomplishment. It's not an easy thing to do, but at the same time, they can't be satisfied. The fans, the team, of course, I don't think they're satisfied at all. Basketball players are competitive by nature, so I think they're gonna look at this as well as possible, try to take in the experience as well as possible.
Yun. Well said, no, Karlo. And looking at this ride by Gilas Pilipinas leading to the 2019 World Cup, no? Ang daming, storylines for individual players na dapat nating tingnan. First of all, if we were to give a comeback player award, it's none other than our very own Kiefer Ravena, no? Karlo, I was worried about Kiefer kasi nga of course, alam naman natin yung nangyari sa kanya, suspended by FIBA for intake of substances na hindi nga pwede, no? Pero si Kiefer, I was worried about him kasi even though he's, doing skills training, conditioning, iba yung getting real game reps.
Oh, yeah.
Diba? Iba yun eh.
Definitely.
Pero parang nagulat ako because in their second and last tune-up nung sa Meralco Gym against the Adelaide 46ers, parang walang kalawang si Kiefer. Diba?
Yeah.
I mean, do you see Kiefer Ravena embracing his role now as perhaps the lead point guard for Coach Yeng?
I think number one, that was one of the questions that people asked when the lineup came out. Actually, even before the lineup came out, Coach Yeng said na lock si Kiefer. It was confusing. But in defense of Coach Yeng, I think he considered Kiefer as a lock kasi kahit may kalawang man physically, mentally, Coach Sandy has even went as far as to say that Kiefer is a basketball genius.
Wow.
I mean, Kiefer has one of the highest basketball IQs that, I'm safe to say that we've ever witnessed in Philippine basketball.
Yeah.
I mean, maturity, feel for the game. Ibang klase si Kiefer in terms of basketball savant talaga.
Yeah.
So in terms of viewing the game, I think he'll be fine.
Okay.
I think that's also why he was able to perform that well. I mean, he shot 5 of 8 from the field, if I'm not mistaken, during that game versus the 36ers. And he looked good physically, which is good. But as you mentioned, it's a different monster altogether to compete in real game, and more than just real game. Really, it's competing in actual competitions where there's something on the line.
Yun.
You could have said with the 36ers, take it to experience, charge it to experience.
Yeah.
Gilas lost that game.
Yeah,
Gilas lost that game quite badly. So. There's that caution, but in the World Cup, wala nang caution yan.
Yeah, true.
It's pretty much do or die every game. So, dun natin makita talaga, just how good Kiefer looks. But just to see him, he gained some weight early on, right, during that suspension, but he's back in shape, which is good to hear. Puti na lang, hindi siya napasobra sa extra night.
Hindi tinuruan ni Bo.
No, hindi tinuruan ni Bo. Ni JR sa Netflix. So, just to see him back, hopefully he does well.
Yes.
Gilas has a bunch of other guards that they can rely on if ever Kiefer gets a little shaky, especially later versus Italy.
Okay. So, tapos we'll talking about yung guard rotation ng Gilas, Karlo. If there is one rookie to watch for me, it would none other be than the man who cannot be named, Robert surname Bolick. I mean, Karlo, nagulat ako dito. Robert Bolick averaged 20 points sa 2 games dun sa Torneo de Malaga sa Espanya, I mean, Bolick was known to be this fearless guy sa San Beda Red Lions, pero to perform at this level for Gilas Pilipinas in his first year at that, I mean, I'm impressed. Yeah, I am impressed. Parang, how do you see, Kiefer and si Bolick, handling that yung combo guard spots for Gilas?
I actually think Bolick was put into that lineup. In fact, even before Matthew Wright or JP Erdem got injured, I was already talking about how Bolick, I think, should have been a lock at that time because he's the perfect guard, perfect. I don't want to call him a backup. He's kind of the perfect alternative, pero he's a perfect type of combo guard that Coach Yeng could put into his into the team. Kasi as it is, the team runs a lot of ball screen action, and I think that's one of the things similar between Kiefer and Bolick. Both of them are naturally good ball screen guards who like to create off of that action.
Court vision.
Using their court vision, using the screen to be able to create for their teammates.
Sure.
So, I think that one thing that makes Bolick so good, yung ability niya to create off the ball screen. Kumbaga, anchor niya yan, along with the fearlessness to be able to do different things.
Yeah.
I mean, Bolick has gone from the lowest of lows, playing off the bench in LaSalle, pretty much not getting any minutes. Then all of a sudden, he turned into this, superstar in San Beda, and he's it spilled over to the PBA, spilled over to Gilas, and I think it really speaks to the mental resolve of this kid. I mean, he's amazing. Just how fearless he is, how he embraces the moment no matter what. Talo, shot. He wants to take the last shot, take responsibility. So you have to respect that about him, and to have Robert Bolick on the Philippine team, what a blessing to have someone that fearless.
Oh, naman, definitely. So yun ang ating babantayan, Ateneans and Philippine sports fans, Robert Bolick, Kiefer Avena sharing those combo guard duties for Coach Yeng Giao. And also, not to mention, Karlo, isa pang rookie na kailangan natin abangan. Of course, if Gabe Norwood, for ilang taon na ba to? High school pa ako, siya na yung small forward.
12 years. Ever since 2007.
Oh my gosh. Ganun na rin ako katanda. Tumanda na ako with Gabe Norwood. Anyway, pero I think Coach Yeng Giao found something in a CJ Perez that presents the same, I mean, not the same height and length as Gabe, pero yung positional versatility, meron nun si CJ eh.
Definitely. I mean, even with, this is gonna hurt for Ateneo fans, but when he was with Ateneo, playing in Team B, you know, he was already playing that initiator role, kumbaga. Some even went as far as to compare him to Jason Castro. I wouldn't go that far, but you know, that's right. Positional versatility. Yung maganda kasi kay CJ is that he plays multiple positions. He can play from 1 to 3. But I think during the World Cup, he'll play a lot of 2 and maybe even some 3 sometimes. Kasi medyo
swingman siya ngayon.
Yeah, medyo gipit yung medyo gipit yung Gilas when it comes to wings, lalo na with the injury of Marshall and Matthew Wright.
Yeah.
So, maganda kay CJ is that other than obviously his attacking and his athleticism, his finishing ability, he's really learned how to shoot better. You know, he's not someone who you can sag off anymore. You know, you have to respect his jumper type paano. Maybe not in the same way as a Marshall or a
Matthew Wright.
But you have to respect his jumper.
Tama.
And it gives him multiple options to cut or even to handle the ball. So, you know, to call him as a good alternative to Gabe, I think that's just about right. You know, athletic, you know, presents lots of length. Not the same length as Gabe. He's a couple of inches shorter. But, you know, that positional versatility, that matters lalo na in international basketball.
Definitely.
Na very versatile ang mga players.
Definitely. And speaking of veterans naman tayo, no, Karlo, no? You know, I was going through the lineup and parang sa akin, no, I think the Gilas veteran who needs to ball out and who is the most under pressure to perform well, I think it's none other than the 5-time PBA MVP, Junmar Fajardo. I mean, we remember, no, 2014 World Cup, the Senegal game, dun siya, he made quite a name for himself over there, no? Pero things have changed since 2014. Junmar has been the de facto face of the PBA. Yes. Diba? I mean, but for all Junmar's brilliance in our local league, pagdating kasi sa at least FIBA Asia, only flashes of brilliance na nakikita natin, not the same dominance as you expect for Junmar, diba? Parang, do you think that, hey, Junmar, it's time for him to, you know, ball out as we said?
You know, I think number one is ang mahirap din for Junmar. We've seen flashes of brilliance, but at the same time, I think it's also testament to the situation the team finds itself in quite too often. You know, quite sadly, na there's not enough time to be able to mesh together as a team to build team chemistry. And I think that's a big difference between San Miguel. You know how dominant he is with San Miguel and Gilas. Is that Coach Leo has done a tremendous job, really, of telling everyone that, okay, Junmar is our best player. Junmar has the tools to dominate, even versus imports. I think we forget Terrence Jones shouldn't stop him. Terrence Jones na yan.
Finals lang to, ah?
Yes, during the finals, Terrence Jones should not stop him. I mean, he averaged a double-double, which is a disappointing performance, but that just speaks of how good Junmar is.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's so much as you know, Junmar has to step up. I think it also has to be a team effort. I think the team needs to realize na Junmar can match up with these big men internationally. I think the number one thing that he can present is heft. He's big, laki ng tao.
Wide, diba?
Wide. He's wide and he's strong. I think that's one of the things that we underrate with Filipinos. Malakas ang Pinoy. Filipinos are strong. Iba yung iba yung bangga ng Pilipino kumpara sa bangga ng ng taga China or taga Korea. Iba yung bangga nila, which is, I think, is a testament to the street ball culture here in the country. Very tough, very rough. And I think with regards to Junmar, he has that. He's a very tough player. Even though hindi siya napapaaway, very nice guy. Pa-joke lang sa out of the court. But on the court, I mean, he can match it up with the best of them. And I think they have the opportunity to do that. I mean, look, if he was able to outplay someone as strong as Gordy Jang, you know, in the Senegal game, I think it's time to give him a chance. It's time to give him those opportunities. Whenever he gets a steal in the post, don't give him the ball.
Right.
But, you know, at the end of the day, we can just speculate. I mean, I'm not the coach, obviously.
Neither am I. So
neither are you. So the least that we can hope for is hopefully the team you know, uses Junmar as much as possible. That's a 5-time PBA MVP.
Exactly.
It's not a joke. And to be able to really test the defense of a proven NBA veteran and Terrence Jones in the low post. I think that's enough testament to say that June Mark can match it up with the best of them.
Well said dun, Karlo. Again, five-time PBA MVP. No one has done that ever.
No one.
Diba? So, you have to give him a lot of credit for that. Pati ako parang, nga no, 5 times.
You could get a 6.
Okay. So, mga kapwa natin Pinoy, Gilas Pilipinas' campaign begins tonight, no? 7:30 p.m. laban po sa koponan ng Italia. Karlo, shortly before leaving for China, sabi ni Coach Ying, palapit na tayo sa peak form natin, 90% na tayo, no? Pero just how important is this first game against Italy? Kasi sabi dito, only the top 2 teams from each group will advance to the second round. Yung bottom 2, relegated po yan sa classification stage. I think sila coaching and the coaching staff, no, parang sinasabi nila, we're all our cards right now are laid for Italy. Parang ito yung pinaghahandaan natin. Pero Karlo, can't this backfire a bit? Kasi parang admittedly, wala pa silang set plan for Serbia or even Angola.
I get that. I get that concern definitely. Baka you're putting too much of your effort on one team. Yung pala, di mo yung perform well in the 2 other games. So I think the Italy game, we should consider it as a sort of an anchor, so to speak, when it comes to the rest of this run. How Gilas performs in this game versus Italy, it's going to be very important to determine how they're going to play in the next 2 games. I mean, that's how it happened in the FIBA World Cup. I mean, in 2014, they pushed a really strong Croatian team, and it spilled over with Argentina. They put up a decent fight against Greece, heartbreaker versus Puerto Rico, and eventually won versus Senegal. So I think versus Italy, it's daunting, definitely. NBA caliber players there with Danilo Gallinari especially, but they have to take it step by step. I think you have to. I think that's how the team is looking at it. Take it step by step. At the end of the day, mahalaga yung Italy kasi they're projected to be the second best team in this group. So securing that win will be big. It will be big. Remove some pressure off of their back. But the factor, if they win that game, hopefully they win that game, is not to get too overconfident versus Angola, versus Serbia. Even, I mean, who knows? Masilatan pa natin yung Serbia. Because at the end of the day, look, Angola, sila yung sinasabi na, okay, winnable. Sabi. But sometimes it's not like that. Sometimes even the winnable games slip away from your hands. I mean, we have to remember during their Italy leg, the Gilas Italy leg, they blew out Ivory Coast, but they ended up losing right after. So anything can happen. Gilas has to be careful. Fans have to be careful with their expectations. Because at the end of the day, it's basketball. Anything can happen. So they really have to be careful with every game that they play.
True. Tapos, Karlo, I was trying to get the pulse of the team. I was reading through articles. Parang yung right now, Gilas Pilipinas feels a bit upbeat heading to the Italy match. Parang sabi nga ni CJ Perez, they were having lunch at the hotel with the Italians. Parang he was sizing them up. Pinapakiramdaman daw, tinatansyahan daw, tapos sabi nila Raymond Almasan, madikit yung court, sanay na tayo dyan, di ba? I mean, pero look ang Italy nung August 27, may tune-up sila against the New Zealand Tall Blacks na kilalang-kilala natin, talo sila doon. Tapos a little bit before that, they faced France, talo na naman sila doon. So, do you think na Gilas Pilipinas sana naman can catch Italy on the downslide? Na parang, baka, you can pull one under the rug from them.
They definitely can. I think it would be disrespectful to the country to say that they can't. I mean, we have to remember during the course of this run, they nearly beat Argentina, they nearly beat Croatia. And even during the qualifiers, they nearly beat France. It took some Tony Parker heroics to be able for France to escape that game. So I mean, I think we have to we also have to shut down this notion na underdogs ang Pilipinas. Kumbaga kaya. I mean, yes, you could mention them as not as experienced, or maybe not without talent that's as proven, but there's talent. There's talent, and the Philippine brand of basketball has to be in the international stage. They deserve to be in the international stage.
Yun.
And I think itong Italy, I don't even want to say pull one under the rug. I mean, I think it's more of beat them, as simple as that. And at the end of the day, look, the World Cup is different from the preseason. I think that's clear as day. I mean, if we're gonna talk about preseason, Ateneo last year, they dominated the Phil Oil. They matched up against Jones-Trupp teams, but they lost 2 games. I mean, even though people expected them to sweep, and while they won the championship, I think the important lesson there is that the preseason can only tell you so much. Because some of these teams, they don't even run their best stuff. They don't play their best players during the most opportune times. So. Iba yung World Cup Parang I think the good thing for Gilas is that they shouldn't focus too much on that. They have to focus on the now, what they can do now. Kasi if they get too wrapped up on, natalo ng blocks yan ka. Might get too overconfident, and I think that's the least that you want to happen. Against a team as established as Italy.
True. Well said, dun, Karlo. No, and then after the game tonight, pagdating naman ng Monday, eto na. Last time I checked, a team called Serbia currently sits at number 1 sa FIBA 2019 World Cup rankings. Karlo, I was looking at yung previous games nila. Serbia's actually on an 11-game winning streak. So they're heading into China, safe to say, confident ang mga to, I mean, and they open up the tournament against Angola pa, I mean, a little bit of history here, basketball fans, nung Yugoslavia pa sila, nung 2002 World Cup, matagal-tagal na to, they opened the tournament against Angola rin. And then, ano nangyari doon? Yugoslavia won the 2002 FIBA World Cup. Ngayon, Karlo, what will it take naman for Gilas to at least give a good fight against, a juggernaut Serbia lineup?
We're talking about Junmar earlier. I think this is the perfect time for Junmar to show out, in a sense that if there's someone you want to attack, I think it's going to be Jokic's defense, Nikola Jokic, the Denver Nuggets. Jokic isn't really known as a good defender. He's quite slow, quite chubby. I think number 1, the guards can bounce on that, try to attack his pick and roll defense. And if we're going to be talking about Junmar, look, we have to stop treating Junmar as a baby in the international team. Kaya niya, he's shown flashes. I think it would be smart to try to attack that defense in the post. I mean, Jokic is strong. Junmar is also strong. So I think we can give Junmar a chance to try to put Jokic maybe in foul trouble. But you know what? Even trying to think of these possibilities, mahirap. If there's a time to really call us underdogs, so this is the perfect time. They're ranked number 1. They haven't lost a game in the preseason during the pre-tournament preparations, if I'm not mistaken. They're loaded. They're a really loaded team. So I mean, the least that you can expect from Gilas, they're really good at embracing that underdog role, to be fair. So they're gonna try to embrace that, use that as fuel. Now, you think we can't beat this team? We're gonna try. I mean, that's one thing Gilas is so good at doing. They're good at trying things. So we never know, like what they say, Bilogang bola, but we can't count Gilas out completely. At the end of the day, there's 40 minutes to be played. So the least the team can do is try to find little holes in Serbia, hope to sweep under the rug, hopefully. Right.
And I think, Karlo, our best defenders, namely Gabe, sila CJ Perez, matinding closing out ang gagawin nila kasi practically lahat sa Serbia, they can shoot it. I mean, you're talking about si Nemanja Bjelica, diba? 6'10" forward, can shoot the free. I haven't named even Bogdan Bogdanovic, teammate sa Sacramento Kings. Etong shooting guard na to, if Buddy Hield can shoot, this guy can also shoot. Diba? I mean, doesn't Serbia, I don't know, this is just for me, parang Serbia represents the finest of Euro hoops, na parang crisp ball movement, bigs who can shoot, ganun ang European American style.
You can say that, especially with. I mean, we haven't even talked about Jokic, who's a playmaking big. He's pretty much gonna be handling playmaking duties for that year.
Wala si Teodosic eh.
Yeah. Well, Teodosic. I mean, he's gonna be playing point guard.
Oh my god.
Which is crazy to think about, but I think it just represents international basketball. Multiple players being able to do multiple things despite their physical limitations. So that's gonna be a challenge for the team.
Yeah.
I mean, iba yung disiplina na kailangan eh. To be able to rotate properly, to be able to make the right reads on defense.
Yeah.
And I think they felt that, especially with the 36ers, that the Australian team is also the Australian basketball program. Australian basketball is very focused when it comes to stuff like that. Taking the ball well, shooting threes, at a high clip. So that was a good test for them. Hopefully they learned. It's going to be a challenge to be able to face talent. I mean, look, those are 3 proven NBA talents you have right there. They're not jokes. So I think it's good to acknowledge that. Magaling to mga to, but hopefully the national team doesn't get intimidated and they use that as fuel. Kasi at the end of the day, minsan talagang pinakamalaki mo kalaban sarili mo eh.
Yeah.
So it has to start with yourself. It has to start with a team na they can't allow themselves to be consumed by fears, or over these teams.
All right. So Italy mamaya, Serbia sa Lunes, and of course ang last game natin sa group stage versus Angola. Again, Karlo, sinabi natin kanina, this is quite the mystery team, no? Kasi maybe not too many Filipino basketball fans are aware of Angola dahil kind of lack of NBA presence, as we speak. Pero get this, meron silang second round draft pick ngayon 2019 draft, si Bruno Fernando from the University of Maryland. O nga lang, wala siya sa World Cup lineup ng Angola. But Karlo, to Angola's defense, they're the 11-time African champions pala. So medyo may sinasabi rin to, no? I mean, for facing a team na isn't as ballyhooed as the other teams out there, no? What does Gilas Pilipinas have to watch out for, at least?
They have to be careful. I think that's exactly what happened during the Puerto Rico game. I mean, Gabe during 2014, Gabe himself said that they let that one slip away. They essentially gave the game away to Puerto Rico. One of the bigger what ifs during that tournament. I won't say in Philippine basketball. We ended up winning Senegal, at least. But versus Angola, they have to be careful. I think that's really the best thing. Kasi the thing with international basketball, minsan yung mga hindi pa NBA players yung maganda yung
very
laro.
true. Very true.
We put the NBA on a pedestal, which is understandable. Best players play there, but magagaling din yung ibang liga, Eurobasket, everywhere. Basketball has become a global sport, really. So I think with Angola, the number one thing, I think we also have to realize African basketball is on the rise. African teams are getting a lot better. Nigeria is mentioned as one of the potential surprise teams even.
Oh wow.
And in the FIBA Under-19 World Cup, Mali gave the US a hell of a fight in the finals. So African basketball is on the rise. Those teams are getting better. Afro-Basket. I mean, look, you mentioned 11-time Afro-Basket champion. Yes. The African region is getting a lot better when it comes to the hoops. And look, as it is, talagang physically gifted ang mga African.
That's a given. That's
size,
a given.
strength, length, they have that. Yeah. So Gilas has to be careful. I mean, let's say there's a situation, they win versus Italy, they win versus Serbia. They cannot be overconfident versus Angola. They can't lock down on this team. All right. At the end of the day, look, he lost to an Ivory Coast team that didn't even make it to the World Cup.
Exactly.
That should be a warning to the fans and to the team na look, kahit wala pa yan sa World Cup, magaling yan. So, I mean, imagine the team of Luka Doncic, Slovenia isn't even on the World Cup. So you have to be really careful with all these teams. International basketball is a different monster.
Tama ka dyan. And ngayon, Karlo, I think yesterday si Coach Yang Giao, they had their first practice na sa China, no? And he was describing, the arena, the surrounding of the atmosphere of the World Cup as quote unquote, sabi niya, basketball heavy. heaven daw. Sabi niya, quote-unquote, sabi ni Coach Yeng, no, this is a nice venue. It's really world-class. I was telling the guys here earlier, when you enter here, parang nasa basketball heaven ka na. No? We'll just play our best, the best way we know how to play basketball. Karlo, Lovenia, for Gilas Pilipinas, your final shot at the buzzer, for our team and, for the millions of Pinoy Hoops fans who are going to tune in later.
Well, it's going to be tough, that's for sure. Some even mentioned when as far as to say that we have one of the tougher groups in the tournament.
Yep.
But I think, predictions or that's tough. Hirap eh. Hirap gumawa ng World Cup predict. I mean, this is one of the craziest World Cups we're going to be witness to.
Yep.
I mean, the U.S. isn't even short of even a final spot.
Even Pop admitted it.
Yeah. I mean, they don't have. It's going to be crazy.
Yeah.
So, and at the same time, I think we have to realize when it comes to this Gilas team, it's completely different compared to 2014. Because that 2014 team had way more time to prepare, had way more time to gel, less injuries that faced them. Itong team na to, it's practically new.
Yeah.
I mean, lots of new faces from CJ to Bolik. In Blatch, hopefully he does well, but he's looked a little bit out of shape recently. So it's a bit worrying, but at the end of the day, Gabe mentioned, as cliche as it is, expectation mo talaga sa team puso.
Yun na lang.
They've always mentioned that. And, if you're a Philippine basketball fan, dapat hindi masyado, you shouldn't get too consumed by the results right now. I think more important is what's going to be happening in the future.
Okay.
I mean, Philippine basketball's future is so bright. I mean, Kai Soto pala.
Yun.
I mean, we've all heard about Kai. There's David Defonso of the NU Bulldogs. Yep. AJ Edu hopefully gets well soon.
Yes.
Lots of talent. So whatever happens in this World Cup, it's not going to be the end. In fact, there's so much more. There's still 2023 in the country. There's still the Olympics. Maybe next year. Hopefully the Philippines finishes well in the Asian region. So you have to hope for the best and hope the team performs up to par.
Okay, Karlo. And from national matters, punta naman tayo sa something closer to home, okay? Something we're more familiar with. Yeah. Of course, UAAP Season 82, babalik na sa laban ng ating Ateneo Blue Eagles. Karlo, back-to-back titles under their belt. Ateneo Blue Eagles, they're looking to soar into rarefied air na to, Season 82 with a rare free peat. Even more special, we are serving as the hosts of UAAP Season 82. Banner year to for Ateneo, no? Pero, look, Karlo, I haven't seen a college basketball team in recent memory who has achieved the same level of success as Ateneo, no? Since they won UAAP Season 80 yung simula nun, 7 titles in 7 tournaments. I mean, most recent being yung PBA D-League, no? Yeah. In your observation, how has Coach Tab Baldwin, transformed Ateneo into a complete college basketball juggernaut in just 3 seasons?
You know what? It's amazing. I think we also have to realize na he hasn't just transformed. You know what? Coach Tab, when I interview him, when I talk to him, he always makes it a point to say that the ultimate goal isn't to win basketball games. It's to be able to develop the players as well as possible to make it to the professionals. And kumbaga yan it'll domino effect yan.
Yeah.
When you're able to develop players as well as possible, it will eventually spill over to the team.
Okay.
And I think number one, the best example, 30 Raven. I mean, 30 was, some were already labeling him as a bust.
Team B pa yan.
Team B, went to Team B because of grades, and he's revived. Rebirth. And I think rebirth is an understatement because he's won 2 finals MVP since.
Definitely.
Dominant performances in the finals, or even crawling finals 30, one of the best players ever, which isn't really crazy to think about. But I think that's really it. The commitment to be able to develop the players as individuals. That's not. Anyway, that's not just a trivia answer. It speaks for the resume of Coach Tab. He's developed. I mean, 30. Isaac Go, Matt Nieto. There's a bunch of other players down the line who's going to be developing. So you just have to give hats off to Coach Tab.
Right.
I mean, the way that he's really built that culture within the team, that brotherhood. Kumbaga, hindi lang siya yung nagtuturo. The assistants and even the players themselves, they help each other out. Do extra work. Iba talaga yung nagawang kultura dyan ni Coach Tab sa Blue Eagles. I mean, just speaks of his coaching acumen and the character building that he's done. I mean, starts with character, as cliche as that seems.
True. You know what, Karlo? I from high school to college dito, no, I grew up in the Norman Black 5P era. So that in itself is a very dominant Ateneo team.
Definitely.
Sila Chris Chu, JC Intal, all of those guys. No, you name it. Sila Nico Salva who won 5. Exactly that era. No, pero when I look at this Coach Tab led Ateneo Blue Eagles, I can't help but say na ang daming similarities to that to that great run, no? Parang pero eto the way he just transformed not only Ateneo basketball culture pero generally Philippine coaching culture na rin. Parang ang daming the ripple effect that Coach Tab Baldwin did here in Loyola Heights has spread throughout Philippine basketball, no. Pero Karlo, no matter how good our Ateneo de Manila Blue Eagles are, this season, no, they lost 4 players who have played great roles in their success, no. Wala na dito si Anton Asistio, Aaron Black. I mean, props to him for balling out sa MPBL, diba? And of course Joel Mendoza and Rafi Verano. Sorry to say, academic concerns, of course, non-negotiable yan when it comes to Ateneo, no. Karlo, how will Coach Tab naman plug in these holes and find the necessary replacements for these guys?
I think with regards to, I mean, there's actually a friend who messaged me earlier this morning, but I didn't reply. But he asked, ang daming big men na Ateneo.
Yun?
They have a lot of big men in the lineup. Kasi kung isipin mo, sa apat na yun, only one was a big, Rafi, who played the 4.
Yeah, 4.
But the 3 are Jolo, Anton, and Aaron. They play, whether it be small forward, shooting guard, the perimeter positions, pretty much. So, when it comes to plugging holes, I don't think magagawa yan by just finding specific replacements. I think it's going to be a team effort. Kasi I think the beauty with regards to Coach Tab's development is that he doesn't just box players into one role.
Yeah,
like hindi lang okay, 30 you just dunk or Matt he just play make. He plugs players. He doesn't plug players like that. He tries to make players expand their roles. Talaga. And I think number one, with regards to the shooting of Anton, that's a big loss.
Yeah.
The shooting of Anton and Jolo. Ibang klaseng yung shooting ng dalawang yun eh.
Yes.
Some even call them Splash Brothers even. But I think the team will find ways to be able to make up for those losses. I mean, I think the number one guy that we will be looking at to plug in that role will be BJ Andrade. BJ Andrade has... BJ Andrade has broken out this preseason.
Yes.
Winning Mythical 5 honors during the
in D-League, diba?
No,
he was there, or
it wasn't the D-League. It was the PC. Basta the
PCCL ba yan?
PCCL.
Yun.
Yes, thank you. Mind block ako dun. Yeah, the one Mythical 5 honors, deservingly so.
Yes.
He really showed out and played really well, showed lots of effort. In fact, even Coach Tab himself, said that BJ Andrade is someone to watch out for when it comes to that. And he's really embraced that role now. 3-and-D wing, who's going to be shooting lots of threes, will drive occasionally, play great defense. And I think one more guy to watch out for is Gian Mamuyak. I mean, Gian, we just know him as the guy who blocks Stephen Curry, plays good defense, but he's really expanded his game. Yeah. His shot has become more compact, mas steady na siya. And I think the spicy thing with Gian, so to speak, is he's added kind of a pick and roll game. Siya yung ball handler, tapos magpo-pull up siya. One of his most used moves during the preseason, which is fun to see. Mamu's developed into something like this. You never even expected him to develop like that. So there's gonna be ways. I mean,
Okay.
I think the shooting will be a bit of a concern. But I mean, look, Isaac Go shoots threes. Isaac Go shoots
At 6'8", diba?
6'8".
Oh.
I mean, he's a pick and pop guy. And you know, when it comes to spacing, when it comes to shooting, at the end of the day, hindi lang naman shooting kailangan mo dyan eh.
Yes.
You also need movement, and I think that's one thing Ateneo is really good at.
Yeah.
Finding seams, finding different holes in the defense. They're gonna find ways.
All right. And, sa ilang mga sinabi ni Karlo, no? Size and rebounding, that's going to be a strength.
Yep.
Kasi lalaki ang lineup dahil babalik na si Troy Malilin.
Yes.
And we have a guy named the Bulldozer daw sa high school, si Gio Chu. Pupunta na yan sa seniors. And of course, the Filipino Kiwi, si Patrick Magdenberg.
Yeah.
He's going to be in the lineup. And eto Carlo, another junior standout na hindi pa natin na-mention, it's Jason Credo.
Yeah.
Diba? I mean, doesn't Jason Credo remind you of Gian Mamuyak in some way?
You know what? That's another wing that we talked about.
Oh.
They're loaded in the wings with Jason Credo. I think na Mamuyak comparison, ever since high school pa yan eh. Niloloko nila no season 78 parang Mamu Junior pero pinalaki.
Yeah.
Jason. But I think Jason is different in a sense na he doesn't have the kulit of Mamu. Si Mamu kasi iba yung gliding ability niya, iba yung haba niya. Jason is a little bit bigger, which is it's a good thing, of course, to be strong.
Yeah.
But I think the thing with the Jason that sets him apart from Mamu is that ever since, even during his time with the Batang Gilas, he was already a pretty adept playmaker. He was a pretty good passer, made lots of smart passes to his teammates, even set plays at times. So I think that's one thing that Coach Tab may try to use with Jason. So, but I think the number one thing that Jason will be asked to do will be defense talaga.
Right.
Grabe, dami pwedeng dumipensa sa Ateneo eh. From BJ to Mamu to Jason, Matt. We haven't even mentioned Matt.
Exactly.
One of the best defenders, in the league. And even Adrian Wong has made strides on that end. So, and SJ, but almost everyone in the backcourt is capable of defending. So, it's gonna be a big year for Jason to be able to take in UAAP basketball. Hopefully he does well for Ateneo, but it's gonna be fun to try to watch him develop over the course of 14 and hopefully more games.
All right. Tapos Karlo, speaking about off-season preparation naman for our Blue Eagles, I mean 2018 nandun yung Jones Cup, diba, where they wowed everyone. They even participated in a small tournament in Greece, no? Tapos ngayon 2019, parang did they join enough tournaments or parang D-League lang is one of the tournament to note? I mean, but no, even though they just participated in the D-League, if you look at yung mga tune-up matches natin, yung Adelaide 36ers na yan, suki na yan dito sa Pilipinas kasi tinalo pa yan ng ating Blue Eagles. Diba? I mean, doesn't that balance things out na, okay, we didn't join too many tournaments, sorry, pero at least in our tune-up matches, napakita namin, we've got the caliber to go toe-to-toe with professional teams.
And number one, it's crazy to think about that Gilas lost to the 36ers the day after the Ateneo game. And Ateneo beat them. So I think that's crazy to think about. Wrap your head around that idea. That
pro team yan.
Pro team with proven talent, legitimate professional talent.
Yep.
And some are even saying they lost on liberal arts college. It's crazy to think about. But I mean, Coach Tab had an interview a couple of days ago, or was it yesterday, with CNN Philippines, and he mentioned that they did not join enough tournaments. It's something that he was concerned about. The D-League, medyo nabitin pa siya. The D-League competition. Tapos sa Greece, wala sila nakalaro. Mostly intensive training lang talaga, team bonding. Then sa Australia, they were able to play a couple of teams, but Coach Tab wasn't pleased apparently with not even how the team performed, but with how the competition was. And the mga tune-ups dito, pretty solid teams that they've been facing. They beat the Makati Super Crunchers, if I'm not mistaken.
Sa Maharlika yan.
Maharlika, the PBBL team beat them 87-71 the other day. Then the 36ers. Then they went toe-to-toe against the Meralco Bolts. The other day. It was a weird format. They reset the score every quarter, but parang ginong volleyball. Reset back to zero every quarter, and the result of that was tie. It was 2-2 during the end of the game. I think if there's something to be worried about with not playing in enough tournaments, it's gonna be not being used to how tournaments are. Kasi ba yung tournament, it's not a sprint. It's a marathon in a sense na hindi mo pwedeng biglayin eh. Hindi lang yan one game. Okay, right. You have it. You have it in the bag. You need to be able to take it step by step. Play your cards right. And I think that's of utmost importance for Ateneo na to get used to that tournament format, to leave things behind, kahit talo. And that's what they got with the D-League. Right. I mean, they lost to UST during the early goings of the tournament, but eventually went on to win the championship. Pero I mean, I wouldn't call it a cause for concern for them. I think it's just something to watch out for. Okay. How do they respond as the UAAP tournament moves forward without that experience? But as a team, call themselves a band of brothers. They have bonded tremendously over the last preseason, as we can say. I mean, joke na namin dyan ng mga friends ko. Wala ka kayo makitang basketball highlights eh. Parang sumasayaw lang eh. Sumasayaw, ano kalokohan, kumakain. Pero parang bumabatak pa nga sila kahit kumakain sila eh. So, I mean, it's not just hindi lang Ateneo fans ang waiting for ano bang tinatago ng mga to. Kahit mga UAAP. Di mo alam eh. Kasi ano kalokohan lang ginagawa nila sa social media eh. So I don't know. I mean, sometimes maybe malay mo plano yung coach tab. Baka. But at the end of the day, coach team yun eh. He's made it to the finals ever since he went here, so you can't sleep obviously on Ateneo, defending champions.
Definitely. Tapos Karlo, I think maybe the biggest chink in the armor of Ateneo is just like any free Pete seeking team, there comes a point na parang there's a cause for concern about stagnation, diba? Just like parang if you've scaled the mountaintop twice, diba? And if you've been there, parang what's the incentive? What's the motivation to get one more? Bring out one more from within you. And I think how big is this, Karlo? Na it's going to be the last ride for Matt and Mike Nieto, of course for Di Ravenna, Isaac Go, and Adrian Wong, diba? How big is that going to play out? As motivation for them to win one more in this last ride.
Well, I think number one with Adrian, hindi pa sure na wala siya. Kasi he still has technically one more year of eligibility. Technically, he has one more year of eligibility. But there have been rumors circling around basketball circles. But that's not. I don't think that's us for us to talk about. About future Adrian. What's the incentive? I think if there's any incentive, it's gonna be anyway. This is weird. This is one of the few times na the defending champions aren't the most hyped team in coming into the season. In fact, there was a friend who tweeted it. Adrian D, Chinoy Hoops fan. Yes. He tweeted na in the NBA, the Lakers are the most hyped team, but the Clippers are the title favorites. So when was that the last time? The most hyped team, hindi defending champions. Last time, right now. The most hyped team, hindi Ateneo UP. People are particularly excited about the UP fighting rules, and you know what? For good reason. They made it to finals last year, and they're adding new chinks to the new pieces to an already loaded team with Richie Rivero, Kobe Paras, JP Mantilla from Cebu. A bunch of great pieces right there in UP, and that's a challenge. I think if you want motivation, well, you know what? You're right there. Si Coach Tab, he'll always say na you're not champions. He doesn't believe in the concept of a three-peat or back-to-back. Doesn't believe in that. But if you look at motivation, maybe you can start there. Kumbaga sila na yun, tinatapat sa'yo UP, lots of hype, lots of attention given to them. So if you're going to be talking about a last ride, what about win a championship? Try to show na we're not getting hype, but we're still pretty good. Right. Your information. So it's gonna be really interesting to watch those two teams duke it out, and just how iba yan Ateneo UP pagdating ng September 29. I mean, both teams wanna chop each other's heads, for lack of better term, but That's gonna be crazy. I mean, we're gonna see different Terdida Venas, different Matt Nietos, different Proby Paraces, Juan Gomez de Llanos in that game.
Very exciting.
Lots of motivation between those two teams.
Definitely, Karlo. And I think yung September 29 na binanggit mo, Karlo, that's going to be marked in red sa ating calendar.
No doubt about it.
At least for next month, no? Karlo, just before we end our broadcast, no? Tingnan lang natin, pasadaan lang natin yung schedule natin for at least for the first round for the Blue Eagles, no? Simulan natin yan September 4 p.m. sa Araneta Coliseum facing Adamson. An opening day na naman. Adamson na naman, an opening day.
Sabi nga ni Coach Tab Adamson na naman. In last year, natali na kami.
Si Coach Franz Pumaren, alam na natin ang...
We all know how good that guy is. Coach Franz, ibang klase.
Okay, tapos September 8 naman, Karlo, Araneta Coliseum pa rin tayo. 4 p.m. Of course, the El Clasico of college basketball against the surprisingly all-Filipino lineup ng De La Salle. Pero, Karlo, ano to? May loophole ba na lahat, yung apat nila o tatlo na Phil-Am, lahat one and done. Pero hindi one and done na parang US NCAA, one and done yan na master's program. But, I mean, paano nangyayari yun?
Actually, ngayon lang siya sumikat in a sense. Starting last year with Troy Reich.
Yun, sa NU.
Pero even before, ginagamit na siya. And hindi namin na Lasal na yun. And honestly, look, the one and done rule, it's a double-edged sword. When we talk about that. I actually asked Ateneo team manager Epok Kimpo about that. And then he mentioned there's no plans right now to be able to use that. Kasi there's lots of things to consider. Kasi kahit gaano kagaling pa yung mga one and done players na yan, minsan kasi in college basketball, if you've noticed the champions over the past years, they have a foundation built. And their main players are players who have been there for so long already. Yeah. Siguro exception na dyan yung season 79 Lasal when Ben Mbala first came in. Pero more often than not, my foundation ang championship team sa UAAP. Right. And with regards to the one and done rule, it's a double-edged sword. It's gonna be interesting how it ends up for LaSalle because you're adding guards when you already have a pretty loaded guard lineup with Aljon Melesio and Andre Karakot, and you're adding big men. Even though you have the likes of Justin Baltazar and si Bates. So, I mean, it's a loophole. LaSalle tried to use it, but at the end of the day, will it work? Will it not? That's for us to see. Alright. It's going to be very interesting whether it works out for De La Salle or not.
Alright. September 11 naman tayo, no, Karlo? Araneta Coliseum still 10:30 a.m. Makakaharap natin ang maganda to for SJ Belangel and Tyler Teo. Habangan natin si Mark Nonoy and become backing CJ Cancino. Yeah, nang titingnan natin. So, Coach Aldrin Ayo, he's cooking something special sa UST. Hintayin lang natin yan.
Yeah, and you already talked about SJ. Actually, nung juniors days nila ni CJ, si SJ nilalagay kay CJ times. And during that time, si SJ pa yung nakakapigil kay CJ.
Wow,
so that's gonna be fun. That's gonna be such a fun matchup with Mark Nonoy, CJ. And look, we haven't even talked about Renza Bando. What a super athlete that guy is. And Solmain Chabio, their new foreign student athlete. That's gonna be a fun matchup. It's the 10:30 a.m. but I'd wake up early. Or you know what? Kung gusto niyo mag-half day kayo. Sige na. To be able to watch that game. That's gonna be fun. Yep. That's gonna be that's gonna be a hell of a game. Kasi Alden and Coach Tab have lots of history together. Yes. So, sayan. USC's retooled, motivated. They're going for nothing less than a championship, and I think they mean it.
You're right.
This team means it.
You're right. Tapos September 14 naman, we're going down south to the Mall of Asia Arena. 4 p.m. yan against the men from Moraita, the Far Eastern University. Tamaraos. Meron silang one and done center na si Emmanuel Ojula. Na ngayon ko lang narinig. Pero, Karlo, parang ibang-iba na FEU. No? Sila, Wendell Comboy na lang and Barclay Bonya yung natitira from their title season, no? Parang it's going to be different FEU.
It's a really different FEU. I mean, we haven't even mentioned Hubert Cani, who only came in last 2 years ago. Yeah. I mean, Hubert Cani will be going on his last ride as well. But I think with this FEU team, there's also a tinge of mystery to them. Kasi hindi mo alam kung ano aasahan. Kasi ang nangyari last year, they really relied a lot on two graduating players, no? Arvin Tolentino, former Blue Eagle and Rookie of the Year, and Prince Arizu. They ran a lot of their stuff based on those two players players getting the ball. But right now, it's a completely new core. It's a new day for FEU, and it's a chance for them to be able to regain their roots as a team that really develops players talaga.
Right.
That's gonna start with guys like LJ Gonzalez,
junior standout,
former Finals MVP during season 79, and there's also Royce Alforque and Cyrus Torres who are going to be on the team. It's gonna be interesting. That FEU team is gonna be very interesting. FEU has historically given Ateneo trouble ever since. There's just something about Coach Olsen na parang lagi niyang he always coaches better or something. I mean, versus Ateneo dahil ba former team niya.
Baka
pero Coach Tab has utmost respect for Coach Olsen. Maraming guards ang FEU. They've historically pressured Ateneo's guards a lot, so it's gonna be interesting.
Right.
And we speak about LJ. Isa pang rival ni SJ, best friend niya. Best friend niya sa juniors.
Yes.
They had some really epic battles down there, so that's gonna be a fun matchup.
All right, September 22 naman tayo, Karlo. From south, we go north. Inaris Antipolo po tayo dyan. 2 p.m. against VNU Bulldogs. Ngayon, basketball fans ng mga tenista, kung gusto nyo ng assembly ng UAAP Juniors All-Stars, nasa NU yan. Nasa NU lahat yan.
You know what? You can even go as far as say Blue Eaglets All-Stars kasi SJ, Credo, Nieto, sino ba? Mike Nieto also. I mean, there's also Dave, there's Enzo Hoso, Chanel Defonso. Blue Eaglets All-Stars yun.
Yan ang
reunion. yun.
Yan ang NU matchup natin. Tapos, okay, balik tayo south ulit. Parang north-south tayo dito. Mall of Asia Arena, 12:30 p.m. September 25 against the UE Red Warriors. Ngayon, Karlo, one question about UE. Who is actually coaching the Red Warriors? Parang naging, alam ko si Coach Joe, galing dito sa juniors natin, punta sa UE. Tapos for a while, naging si Lawrence Chongson. I mean, sino ba talaga ang coach ng UE?
Well, right now, it's officially Coach Joe Silva. He was the one in the coaches meeting. Although, we might see something else pagdating na press run bukas. We don't know. Maybe UE announced something new. But right now, it's Coach Joe Silva as we speak. And well, okay, with regards to UE, kumbaga, medyo concerning yan. You have no idea who the coach really is and how the program will run. Kasi they actually made some strides last year. They were running some action na Ateneo inspired na Kasi galing kay Coach Joe. Coach Joe was running a couple of Coach Tab's signature ball movement sets. So, pero I don't know right now. They lost a lot. They lost a bunch of players, including Alvin Pasol and Jason Dorilla. So it's a new look UE team. You can't sleep on those guys. You can't sleep on anyone really, kasi they have talent right there. They have some really young, good young talent from Alex Diakite, their new foreign student athlete, and Harvey Pagsanhan, one of their star rookies, and the comebacking former Ateneo Blue Eagle John Apasible.
Kilala natin yan.
Of course, we already know John Apasible. He'll be coming back. So it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting to face UE, but we'll see how UE performs. It's a bit confusing down there, but they have no reasons to hope naman kasi they have talent down there. It starts with Harvey Pagsanhan.
All right. And Karlo nga pala, UE is also boasting bata ng Sugbo, si Safi MVP Ray Suerte. Yes, papasok din yan dyan. So, names to watch out for, Ateneans. And of course, ang nasabi ni Karlo kanina, September 29, ito na, Battle of Katipunan Season 81 Finals Rematch. Ngayon, meron na silang Kobe, meron pang Richie. Of course, every time he's improving ngayon, he can play 1-2-3, 1 GDL. Babalik dyan si Bright Akweti. Safe to say, Karlo, if, itong matchup na to, Ateneo, UP, first round, September 29, I think I have a gut feel na ito yung magiging barometer ng pagtakbo ng season nilang dalawa.
Yeah, that's not a hot take at all to say. Kasi siyang dalawa yung laging pinipit together. I mean, look, we can't sleep on Adamson. Adamson, I think, is gonna surprise some teams even though they've lost guys like Sean Manganti and Papi Sar. But look, it's an end, and UP talaga ang titingnan kasi the pressure is there, the hype between those two teams nandyan So I don't want to call it a barometer per se, but it's gonna be it's going to be an opportunity for Ateneo to see just how can we respond to that type of pressure.
Right.
Na tayo defending champions, Pero ngayon, you're not seen as a favorite. It's kind of new for them na they're back on this role as to have someone of their equal. Maybe some will even go as far as to say na baka mas magaling pa sila itong UP. So that's gonna be interesting between those two teams. Lots of bad blood, lots of history between those two teams.
Definitely.
Kobe Perez was a former Atenean.
Yes.
Kobe, the Nietos were former teammates in the Batang Gilas team. Juan Gomez Deliano, SJ Belangel went toe-to-toe for MVP during season 79, and we're Batang Gilas team. That's a lot of history between those two teams. And of course, Coach Bo, former Blue Eagles coach. Lots of history. That's gonna be. Can't wait.
Okay.
Look forward to September 29 na lang.
Yun na lang. At wala muna Atenis na natatawid dun sa kabila para sa isaw. Okay. And that ends our basketball discussion for today. Marami pa kaming papanoorin ni Karlo mamaya na basketball. Definitely. And of course, Ateneans, wag natin kalimutan, tomorrow na, opening ceremony ng ating UAAP Season 82, #all4more, led by our very own University Athletics Office. And with that, Karlo, Lovenia, KLOVE, thank you so much.
Thank you so much
for our basketball talk this morning. Gilas Pilipinas, Ateneo Blue Eagles, marami tayong basketball na abangan.
Just start.
And yun ulit, would like to thank Karlo Lovenia for sharing to us his basketball analysis for today. Always welcome to have you here back home dito sa Ateneo. So Ateneans, kita-kita tayo ulit only here in Radyo Katipunan Sports, only on the voice of the Blue Eagle.
Welcome to the Rundown, where we take you right into the action with the latest. Welcome to the Rundown, where we take you right into the action with the latest sports news, updates, game previews, breakdown, and analysis in, around, across, and beyond the Ateneo. And now, let's get ready to run down!
Sinabi nung ako'y umatras, dahil sa takot na biglang madapa at kumuho ang lahat. Di tayo atras. Huwag kang bibitiw, bigla-bigla ng ating makamit, nang sama-sama ang ating himit-hit, o di na lang abot kamay. Itaas palalo. Eto na tayo. Ibibigay lahat ng kayang ibigay. Ibibigay lahat para sa tagumpay. Ibibigay lahat ng kayang ibigay. Ang ating tagumpay. sa